Ciel anywhere. Yep, there she is. As soon as I step into the hallway, I run into a familiar upperclassman.
あれ、どうしたんですか、先輩。2年の教室に何か用事でも？
はい、もちろんです。正確に言うと2年生の教室にではなく、2年生の特定のある人物になのですが。
Ciel senpai trots up to me, a broad smile on her face.
先ほど購買部で大変良い新商品を購入したのですが、調子に乗って買いすぎてしまいまして。
What do you want me to do about it?
一人では食べきれないので、暇そうなお話し相手を捕まえに来たところなのです。
I see.
捕まえに来たですか。
I don't see many students around with time on their hands, but anyone would make time if senpai invited them out somewhere. Heck, there'd be a queue. Anyway, putting that aside.
先輩、2年生の教室に来ちゃダメですよ。上級生なんだから。誘うなら3年のクラスメイトを誘ってください。その方が会話も弾むでしょう。
そうなんですけど、今日は年下の男の子とお話がしたい気分なんです。なんとなくなので理由は聞かないでください。
Sure. As she speaks, senpai quickly closes the distance between us.
というわけで、遠野くん、お暇ですか？
ええ、それはまあ、これから昼食を取るだけですけど。
それじゃあ捕まえました。2人で仲良く食べましょう。素敵な食事と一緒に遠野くんの時間もいただきですね。
Sure. With a smile on her face, she tugs softly on my sleeve. It's such an insignificant gesture, but it carries a mysterious coercion that I feel utterly powerless to resist. We go out to the courtyard. Autumn is beginning to strengthen its hold over the weather, and even though the sun is out, it's a little chilly. The only students eating lunch in the courtyard in spite of that are those that appreciate the elegance of the place, and senpai seems to be among them.
お？今日は珍しくベンチが空いています。さすがついてますね、遠野くん。
Senpai skips over to one of the benches and sits down. I follow her example, taking a seat next to her at a respectful distance.
それで購買部の新商品って何なんですか？1年前に姿を消したカニクリームコロッケロール。
They really did have a delicacy like that on the menu back in the day. They were so expensive that they were discontinued after the first week, but a lot of students are still holding out hope they'll make a comeback.
それはですね。
Senpai is positively beaming as she places the paper back on her lap. Reaching inside, she pulls out 4 stuffed buns.
じゃーん！購買部の仕入れルートに進言すること早1週間。ついに本格ベーカリーのアイテム販売が実現したのです。
I liked it all to that sound effect. It's funny. The objects threatening to spill from her hand are stout, oval-shaped buns. The outside has been fried to a crisp, dark brown, and still glistens with oil. All 4 of them appear to be the exact same size and shape. They are, beyond a shadow of a doubt, freshly fried curry buns.
この生まれたばかりの見まごう焼き加減。1個300円と割高ですが、学生の税ここに極まったと言っても過言ではないでしょう。はい、どうぞ遠野くん。特別に半分お分けしますから遠慮なく。遠野くん？
いや、先輩、これさ。
These are the curry buns they sell at the famous bakery in front of the station, aren't they?
Why?
What does she mean, why? I don't know what to say to that. Are you sure you're from Earth if this doesn't make you happy? Look she's giving me.
昨日もそうだったけど、 先輩辛いの好きなの？
For some reason, I specifically avoid asking, do you like curry?
でも辛ければ好きというわけではなくてですね、特定の味付けが大変美味しく感じるというか、そうですね。いくら好きでも4つ全部同じ味というのはちょっと考えなしでしたね。
Good. At least she seems to understand that it's slightly strange behavior.
でも分かりますよ。好きなものってちょっと多いぐらい買い込んでおかないと不安になりますからね。それじゃお言葉に甘えて遠慮なく。
I pick up one of the curry buns spread out on Senpai's lap and bring it to my mouth.
いただきます。外はカリカリ、パンは油が染みてほのかに甘く、中の具はしっかり詰まってる。美味しい。本当に美味しいですね、先輩。
I don't eat this kind of food very often, so it's a welcome change. I used to avoid fried buns because of their high oil content, but they're very tasty if enjoyed in moderation.
でも先輩、お腹は大丈夫ですか？カレーと揚げパンって胃にもたれますよ。女の子にはきついのではないかと。
そうなんですか？私はこの後体育ですから問題なく消化できちゃうと思います。はい。
If you're going to be running around later, wouldn't you want to get something a little easier to digest? I'm not entirely sure what she's basing her logic on here.
体が丈夫なのだけが取り柄ですから、私。それよりお茶ですよね。麦茶でいいですか、遠野くん。
ういっせー。
There you are.
やっぱり日本人は麦茶っすよね。あった余ったカレーパンゲット。
It's no wonder that Senpai is surprised. I don't know when he managed to sneak up behind us, but he suddenly snakes an arm out from behind the bench, brazenly snatches up one of the curry buns, and downs it in one bite.
なるほど、こいつはうまい。すげえうまい。何よりカレーの味がする。空腹で起きたばかりの俺にはごちそうすぎますな。いや、ちょい腹にもたれるけど、そこは先輩の真心でイーブンってことで。
Arihiko guffaws heartily. This guy saw me and Ciel senpai together and snuck up on us.
アリヒコ、お前なんでそう人の邪魔をすることばかりに長けているんだ。前世からの呪いなのか、それともそういう生き物なのか。
抜けがけはなしですよ、お客さん。一人で美味しい目見ようったってそうはいかねえ。つうかランチなら俺も回せろよ。昨日席譲ってやったんだから、今日は俺が譲られる番ですよね。
Arihiko seems to have convinced himself that he was actually saving a seat for senpai at lunch yesterday. He has quite the convenient memory.
すみません先輩、うちのクラスのバカが失礼を働きました。こんなことを言ってますけど、昨日は一応役に立ったんで同席させて。先輩。
I turn to look at Ciel senpai. When I do,
残念ながら却下です。
Jesus, she ready to scrap.
乾くんはそこで歯を食いしばってください。
Senpai has leapt nimbly to her feet and adopted a fighter stance. Her left jab cuts through the air with a whoosh.
なんかどうに入ってらっしゃる？
Even to us amateurs, it's clear that this is flawless shadowboxing.
怒ってるぞアリヒコ。たかだかカレーパン一つつまみ食いされたぐらいで大人げないぐらい怒ってるぞあの人。
She don't play around with her food.
これ冷や汗止まらねえよ。やばい、マジやばい。検圧で先輩が大きく見える。あ、今かすった。鼻先にジュってかすった。助けて。どうだ、なんとかして先輩に謝って。
謝るのはお前だろ。寄るな、こっちに寄るな。俺まで犠牲者にするつもりか。
I pry myself away from the clinging Tsukihime.
さすが当のナイス白状。すみません先輩。つまみ食いは出来心っつかノリっつか、こう先輩とランチするためのアプローチというかですね。
な
Yeah,
るほど。この席に入りたかったと。ですがふさわしい入場券が見当たりませんね。ランチであれば何か食べ物を持ってくるべきでは。
オッケー、了解しました。急いで調達してきます。
Jesus. What a trio this is. Arihiko sprints away at top speed. Ciel senpai sits back down on the bench as if nothing had happened.
乾くんにも困ったものです。いただきますの言葉もなかったばかりか、一口で飲み込んでしまうなんて、食材への感謝の気持ちが足りません。もう大変華麗な感想を二度口にしたので、今回は特別に多めに見てあげますが。
She shrugs her shoulders hopelessly and grumbles a complaint very befitting of an upperclassman.
お待たせー。入場券買ってきましたぜ。
おお。
げ
Arihiko returns after about 5 minutes. In his hands, he's carrying 2 bulging paper bags.
これ多すぎじゃ。
どうよ、あれだけ買い占めてみた。なんていうか、これだけあれば先輩も怒りを鎮めてくれると信じて。
I see. She must have really scared him back then. That must have been a fear that only the person who was being targeted could feel.
いや、それにしても紙袋2つ分のカレーパンはやりすぎだ。皿に盛られたコロッケじゃあるまいし、これどうやって片付けるんだ。
食い切れなきゃ残せよ。多少は日持ちすんだから、明日の昼までの完食にすればいい。そういうわけで、はい先輩、さっきの謝罪とお昼を一緒にする袖の下っす。
これはご丁寧にありがとうございます。どうぞ乾くん、ベンチの方に。私は立っていますから。
何言ってんすか。先輩は座っててください。で、俺がいない間にどんな話してたんすか。学校終わったら遊びに行くとか。
What the hell are you talking about?
その逆、学校の中の話。お前朝いなかったから富山の代わりに新しい先生が来たことも知らないだろ。もったいない。うちのクラスの連中が舞い上がってるぐらいの美人なのに。
何それ初耳。新しい先生って転校生みたいなもんで、どんなタイプ。俺高圧的な女教師は趣味じゃねえんだけど。
いかにも去年まで研修生だったって感じでバリッバリの癒し系。お前包容力のある年上が好きなんだろ。よかったな、好み通りの25歳だ。
やめて。25歳だけはやめて。姉貴と同い年じゃねえか。それだけは生理的に受け付けるんだよ俺。
Look at her munching. Adorable.
おや、乾くん年上の女性が好みなんですか。
そうっすよ。年上はめんどくさくないし。あ、いや、可愛ければめんどくさいのもありなんで、一つ下まではありですが。
ふむふむ、甘えるのも構うのも得意なわけですか。ところで遠野くんは年上範囲なんですか。
特に意識はしたことはないですけど、有彦ほど自由じゃないとは思います。
まったうっそくさい。なんか遠野からはお姉さん殺しの匂いがするんだよな。家庭教師とか主治医の娘さんとか、その手の話には事書かないんじゃねえの。
黙ってろ。いいから黙ってろ。そもそも家庭教師とか雇ったことないからな。
おお、では主治医の娘さんはあるんですか。
ありますけど面識だけです。シエル先輩も有彦のヨタ話に乗らないでください。
ヨタ話じゃないけどな、事実だけどな、実際抜き駆けして年上の先輩とランチしてたじゃないですか。
ですよね。遠野くんがあんまりにも無防備にひょこひょこ歩いていたので、私もつい誘われてしまったのです。
Jesus.
なんというか雪原でウサギに会ったよ
These
うな気分
lies
でし
on
た。
my name! Jesus.
はあ、まあ実際はウサギの皮をかぶった冷血生物なんですけどね、こいつ。クモとかサソリとかあの手の機械っぽい生き物。
Good lord. Senpai and Arihiko laugh together. I want to object, but I'm afraid I'll end up bringing unnecessary trouble upon myself, so I stay silent. And so, the number of curry buns steadily dwindles. I would like to correct my earlier comment about croquettes on a plate. The mountain of fried buns is now being consumed as easily as a light snack. There are less than 20 minutes left before the end of lunch. What will be the fate of these curry buns? Tore them things up, didn't you? Our conversation continues right up until the end of the lunch break. Arihiko and I would talk about stupid things, Ciel senpai would give her opinion, and the conversation would start all over again. We were also running out of curry buns. Such a purposeless and extremely ordinary moment passes like flowing sand.
おっと、そろそろ頭が痛くなってきた。腹も膨れ。いや待って、何も食べてないような、食べられなかったような。まあいいか、眠くなってきたんで保健室に逃げ込みますわ。じゃあな先輩、今度は俺と二人っきりでお願いします。
Arihiko runs up to the infirmary, seemingly fully intent on skipping afternoon classes as well.
やれやれ、注意するべきなんでしょうけど、不思議と乾くんには甘くなってしまいますね。これも人徳なのでしょうか。
Ciel stares at Arihiko in exasperation until he disappears from the courtyard.
あいつ必要最低限のことはきっちりこなしてますからね。事故の不始末は自分で片付けるやつだし、先輩も信頼して放任してるんじゃないですか。
なるほど、確かにそんな気はします。付き合いが長いだけあってよく分かっているんですね、乾くんのこと。
ただの腐れ縁です。先輩だってすぐに分かりますよ。あいつ突き抜けたアホだから。
Although I'm bad-mouthing him, Senpai keeps on smiling gently.
何ですかその含み笑
いえいえ、遠野くんが笑っているものですから、私もつられて笑っているんです。今日のは楽しい時間でしたね。
I only notice my smile after she says that. She's right. This was a moment I should treasure. Come to think of it, I've never spent time hanging around in the courtyard acting like a normal student before.
そうですね。ちょっと楽しかったです。あんまり中庭に出たことがなかったから。ああ、でも前にもこんなことがあったような。シエル先輩と会った時でしたっけ？
I think back to when I first met Senpai. She was...
ええ、こんな出来事ならたくさんありました。きっと数えきれないぐらい。
She replies with a sincere smile. How sweet. Maybe Ciel's in the tea ceremony room? See it. That's right, I should go swing by the tea ceremony room. Apparently Ciel senpai came to visit me this morning, so there's a chance I might be able to run into her if I head there.
その前に。
It's bad form to show up empty-handed. I'll take a little detour. It took me longer than I expected to get the necessary supplies. I knock on the door of the tea ceremony room. After a few moments, the door opens and Senpai pokes her head out.
くんですね。
Senpai cocks her head to the side, puzzled.
先輩、お昼ご飯一緒に食べません？
お昼ご飯ですか。遠野くんからのお誘いは嬉しいんですけど、
But this doesn't look good. Senpai seems to be on the fence about whether to accept my invitation or not. I wonder if she has other things she needs to take care of. Well, I have a little trick up my sleeve for this exact situation.
カレーパンありますけど。
There she goes. Senpai's expression brightens visibly. What the hell? I mean no disrespect when I say that. That's incredibly cute.
どうでしょう。昨日のお昼ご飯のお返しにあげますから、一緒に食べません？
それはご丁寧にどうも。そうですね。昨日のお礼ということでしたら、断る理由はありません。
Fidgeting with her glasses, Senpai steps aside and lets me enter the tea ceremony room.
どうぞ楽にしていてください。ちょうどお茶の用意をしていたところですから。
Senpai steps into the next room. I guess that's the kitchenette. As I enter the tea ceremony room, it becomes clear why Senpai was hesitating earlier. There's an empty lunchbox on the tatami mat. It seems that she has already eaten lunch.
遠野くん、お茶と紅茶どっちがいいですか？
お茶でお願いします。それより先輩、お昼済ませてたんですか？
ちょっと前に。今日は寝坊してしまったので朝ごはんを食べてなくて、午前中はお腹がペコペコで大変でした。
そっか、ごめん邪魔しちゃって。俺教室で食べるからゆっくりしててください。
パンいただけないんですか？
Senpai is suddenly standing in the doorway of the kitchenette. The expression on her face is that of a child who didn't receive any presents for Christmas.
いや、だってお腹いっぱいでしょ先輩。
そんなことないです。私お腹減ってます。
An instantaneous response. It's pretty clear what she's most concerned about here.
それならいいけど、先輩本当に大丈夫？例のカレーパン結構ボリュームありますよ。
ご心配には及びません。私好きなものなら割と限界なくいただけちゃいますから。
I already figured that out yesterday. That bashful smile of hers isn't out of embarrassment over having a second helping of lunch. She's just genuinely excited about the thought of eating that curry bun. She's an enigma. In this day and age, it's rare to find someone who can get this excited over a simple curry bun. After Senpai ate a curry bun, I ate too. We decided to have some tea to wash them down. I sit down on the tatami mat and leisurely enjoy a cup of tea with her.
そういえば朝のニュース見ましたよ。遠野くん、新しいお家の方はどうですか？何か大変なことになっていたみたいですけど。
ニュースですか？
I remember Hisui mentioning that the police had come over to ask questions about those bloodstains.
あのニュースとうちは無関係ですよ。屋敷の感想だって中はすごく立派で夜は野犬がうるさかったぐらいだし。強いて言うんならテレビがないのと和室がないのがネックかな。こんな風にお茶を飲める場所がありませんから。
野犬って何ですかそれ？遠野邸の前で起きたのは例の通り魔事件なんじゃないですか？
やだな。そんなことになってたらもっと大騒ぎになってます。結婚があっただけで事件性はありません。まあでも
That vision you saw, yeah. They found the bloodstains in the same spot where I went to look for the dogs last night. I can't say that out loud.
いえ、ただの勘違いです。何にせよ 俺たちには関係のない話です。せっかく先輩とのんびりしてるんですから、嫌な話をするのはよしましょう。
そんなことはありません。少なくともこの町で暮らしているんですから、通り魔事件は関係あると思います。遠野くんはちょっと危機感が足りないのではないでしょうか。
Senpai's tone has become a little heated. She is the very image of a reliable upperclassman scolding an unscrupulous junior.
でも危険なのは夜の外出だけでしょ。犠牲者は8人も出ているんですから、警察だって次期犯人を捕まえるだろうし。
もうそんなことを言っていると寝首をかかれますよ。ニュースだって3人目の頃から同じことを言っていましたけど、結局犯人はまだ捕まっていないじゃないですか。
She's right about that. For a string of serial killings to continue this long in modern Japan is beyond abnormal. It's practically bordering on paranormal.
そうでした。現代の吸血鬼なんてふざけたテロップが打たれてるから、身近な出来事の気がしなかったというか、確かに軽率でした。俺だ。
はい、分かってくれればいいんです。本当にくれぐれも知らない人についていっちゃダメですよ。もし犯人が吸血鬼扱いされて喜んでいる異常者だとしたら、遠野くんは格好の餌食かも
There's
しれ
that
ま
word,
せん。
vampire. That's gonna be important later, I bet.
どことなく美味しそうな雰囲気ですから。
What do you mean by that?
先輩、その例えはどうかと。
I'd rather she didn't tempt my fate by saying things like that. Though, I have chronic anemia, so I'm probably not a good target for vampires in the first place.
でも真面目に考えるとおかしな話ですね。吸血鬼って言うけど、どうしてそんなあだ名をつけたんでしょう。
体中の血を抜かれているんですよ。吸血鬼という比喩表現は間違っていないでしょ。
そうですかね。吸血鬼に吸われた人間って同じように吸血鬼になるってのが通説じゃないですか。なのに殺されてしまった人の死体はちゃんとあって、吸血鬼になって歩き回ってるわけでもない。わざわざ階段めいたあだ名をつけなくても、ただの殺人事件で十分でしょうに。
遠野くん、吸血鬼がいるって本気で信じてるんですか？
ですね、ニュースでそう煽っているから合わせただけです。本当に吸血鬼なんてのがいたら、さっき言った通り死体なんか残らないでしょう。
そうですね。けどこういう風にも考えられません？発見されている死体の方たちは吸血鬼になれなかったから死んでしまった。吸血鬼にはなれる人となれない人がいて、なれる人は吸血鬼に襲われても死体としては発見されないんです。だって今もどこかでひっそり生きているから。
はあ、そりゃホラーだね、先輩。
はい、割とホラーな話です。残念ですが、オチはつきませんでした。
With a smile, Senpai sips her tea. While we were idly chatting away, lunch break came to an end. Senpai said she still had some things to clean up, so I go into the hallway ahead of her. Accepting her kindness, I turn away from the tea ceremony room and start to head back to the classroom, when suddenly...
あらら？もしかして四季くん？
Hello, Noah.
こんなところにいるなんて意外ね。
I unexpectedly bump into Noel Sensei. Noel Sensei is holding a silver accessory in her right hand. It looks like a cross.
ああ、これ言ったでしょ。趣味で副業しているって。あっちの塔は騒がしいから、静かな物質棟で日課のお祈りをしに来たの。そんなことより、四季くんは何をしているのかしら？もしかして、 この辺りに秘密の密会場所でもあるの？
いえ、それは。
I can't tell her I just came here to visit my upperclassmen in the tea ceremony club.
いえ、気晴らしに歩いていただけです。お昼がまだなんで、そろそろ食堂に戻ろうかなって。
I try to act natural and keep my response as vague as possible.
それは。ご飯より先に散歩なんて余裕のある大学生みたい。四季くん、もしかして音大とか目指してる？
いえ、音楽に興味はありませんけど。なんで？
聞いてみただけさ。はい、それじゃあバイバーイ。食堂早く行かないと昼休み終わっちゃうぞ。
See you later, adds Noel Sensei with a wink, and then softly presses her lips to the silver accessory in her hand. Pitter patter, pitter patter. The sound of her hard shoes disappears into the back of the club building. Yep, here's the murder. And then we got to pick, like, this is the reality. Yeah, this is the reality I've wrought. So we gotta pick. Ah, the blood. It's red. That disgusting color continues to ooze across the floor, all because I tore her to pieces. If this blood is real, then there's no denying it. With my own hands, I... Stop. Stop it. Don't say it. But my heart is screaming. It's as though it's going to explode if I don't get the truth out. Those words well up in my throat. It's not true. 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 No, 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 no. Don't look away. That too would be wrong.
違うって言ってるのに。
It's all a lie. It's not real. That's what's not real.
だからなんで？俺は知らない。こんなやつ街で見かけただけの他人だ。ほら、おかしいじゃないか。ただの他人をどうして俺が殺してるんだよ。
Shouting won't get me an answer. Besides, I know exactly why. When I saw her, I could only think of a single thing. Yes, I wanted to kill her. That was all that mattered to me at the time. I simply didn't put that thought into words because the contents of my head had melted into sludge. I feel nauseous. The contents of my stomach are coming back up. Vermilion soaks into my eyeballs. I run. I can't spare a thought for anything else. Desperate to get away, I flee from the unfamiliar apartment in a half-crazed frenzy. Yep. I think this is where the different route starts. Gastric juices well up in my throat. I drop to the ground and throw up everything in my stomach. Everything I ate, my gastric juices, I throw it all up and sob. There's nothing left in my stomach. And yet my body keeps on dry heaving as though to reject everything that happened there. As if it's trying to somehow wipe this all away and return the world to normal. It hurts. My insides feel like they're on fire. I can't stop crying, and my body crumples to the ground like a piece of discarded garbage. Yeah, I think this is similar dialogue to when we chose the other one. I killed someone. I killed her as easily as if I were dismembering a doll, without meaning, without mercy. Why did I feel that way? Why did I really kill her? Even now, I still don't understand the reason. But who cares about me? My heart is pierced by endless regret and self-hatred. I killed her. The life she'd lived up until now. Her relationships with the people around her. The future she had always dreamed of, and everything. I, a complete stranger, destroyed it all with a smile on my face. Even if I regret what I've done, I won't be forgiven. Even if I apologize, I'll never be forgiven. How could I? I want to gouge out my own eyes. I'm not even sure if I'm still sane. At the time, I didn't even think about enduring or suppressing those thoughts. Kill her. I accepted that thought as if I were only natural, and carried it out. In which case, the answer is obvious. I must be insane. I've probably been insane for the last 7 years. Ever since the accident that should have killed me, from the moment I miraculously survived. It's cold. Before I knew it, the sun had started to set. I wonder how long I've been here. I'm not really sure. A low droning hiss echoes in my ears. Shh. The sound won't let up, and I'm terribly cold. I get the feeling I'll die if I just sit here on this bench. The feeling I'll die. A dull hum saturates my nerves. My body temperature has dwindled to almost nothing. I don't feel anything. I don't care about the unending sound. It doesn't really matter to me if I freeze to death. My body is shaking. Is it the cold, anxiety, fear, regret? I can't tell the difference anymore. I can't even explain why I killed a woman for no reason at all. I just wanted to kill her, so I did. It's an insane reason. This would be so much easier if I really were insane. It'd be the perfect explanation for everything. Yet my mind is still intact. I committed murder, and now I shamelessly tremble in my sanity. I look down at my numb fingers and see that I'm still clutching my knife. Death. It would prove a simple solution to my immediate problem. But I can't. I'm still sane. There's no way I'd do that. In my heart, I still fear death, and I despise that doing so wouldn't solve anything. It wouldn't even serve as an atonement for my actions. A soft, steady susurration. My body temperature is plummeting like a boulder rolling down a steep hill. I can't bring myself to die by my own hand. But if I just sit here and let things unfold, I'll disappear soon enough. Maybe that'd be for the best. What good is a murderer like me alive anyway? Damn. Come on. I just need to let go. If I die, I die.
遠野くん？
And there's Ciel. Suddenly, I hear someone call my name. I look up. Senpai is standing right in front of me. It feels like decades have passed since I last saw her.
どうしたんですか？こんな雨の中で座り込んじゃって。
I see, so the noise echoing in my ears was the sound of rain falling. No wonder I'm cold. I'm drenched to the bone.
傘もささないで。そのままじゃ風邪をひいてしまいますよ。
It almost sounds as if she's speaking a foreign language. It's only been a few hours since I last heard her voice, but now it feels so incredibly distant.
私の声聞こえてます？
そうですね。風邪ぐらいは引くべきなのかもしれません。
Unable to think straight, I give my voice to my inner thoughts.
ダメですよ。いくら10月でもこんな雨の中にいたら風邪だけじゃ済まない。
Senpai grabs my hand, which has been dangling limply at my side. She must be worried about me, sitting here slumped over on a bench like this.
遠野くん、一体どのくらいこうしてたんですか？体こんなに冷たくなってるじゃないですか。
Before she's even finished speaking, Senpai has grabbed me by the arm and hoisted me off the bench.
私の傘を貸しますから、すぐに家に帰って体を温めてください。本当に命に関わります。
命に。
I see. So that's why I couldn't even move. I was lying to myself when I said I couldn't think straight. I wanted to this whole time. I just haven't.
もうしっかりしてください。動けないなら私からお家に連絡を入れましょうか。
That wouldn't go well. I keep my head down. Guiltily, without looking Senpai in the eye, I shake my head asking her not to.
いいんです。俺は家には帰れない。どこにも行っていいところはない。
This is a rough situation. Literally out here just in the rain after you literally just killed someone. And like one of your homies is just like trying to help you out, but you can't tell him what happened. Like, Jesus. That's right. I can't go home covered head to toe in blood like this. There's no place for me anymore. Not even a place I can rest. There's a long silence. Senpai stares wordlessly at me.
わかりました。私のアパートに行きましょう。遠野くんの家よりは近いですからちょうどいいです。
She begins dragging me along by the arm. I can't shake her off. There's no warmth left in my body. I didn't even have the strength to stand up by myself. I wonder if that's why. With my senses numbed by the cold, the only thing I can feel with certainty is the warmth of her hand clasped around mine. Look at this plain-ass apartment. Look at this. Senpai lives in a pretty typical studio apartment. There's a kitchen and a single main room, perfect for someone living alone. The room is very well kept, just as I'd expect of her. That trifling detail helps me thaw my frozen nerves a little.
はい。これで体を拭いてください。
Senpai hands me a towel.
すみません。上着ぐらいならと期待したんですが、遠野くんのサイズに合う服はないみたいです。ちょっとの間、そのままで我慢してください。すぐに温かい飲み物を入れますから。
Senpai retreats to the kitchen. I'm left alone in the small, neat room. I never thought I'd end up in a woman's room like this. An unfamiliar apartment complex. Yeah. An unfamiliar room. I forced my way into a woman's apartment and stained the insides crimson.
はい、お待たせしました。遠野くん、何してるんです？全然拭いてないじゃないですか。
Senpai gives me a stern scolding and begins to dry my head with the towel.
ほら、上着を脱いで、シャツもです。もう、失礼します。このまま肺炎になっても知りませんから。
I've never seen someone this worked up over another person's behavior. With a determined look on her face, Senpai begins unbuttoning my shirt. I saw the scar. Her fingers stop abruptly, like she's been splashed with cold water.
これ、もう塞がってる傷ですよね。
Her shy inquiry reminds me of something that had slipped my mind. I have a scar on my chest that looks like a nasty burn. It's not a pretty sight to come across unexpectedly.
痛みますか？
平気です。それはもう7年も前のものだから。
そうですか。よかった。遠野くんに元気のない理由がこの傷だったら、今すぐ病院に連れて行かなくちゃいけませんから。
Senpai flashes me a brief, soft smile. Seeing her smile like that sends another stab of pain through my heart.
いいです。自分でできますから。ほっといてください。
はい。 それじゃあお茶を持ってきます。あ、シャツを脱いで体を拭いたら、そこの毛布を上着代わりにくるまっててください。
I take off my shirt and wipe down my upper body, just as I've been told to. I don't feel comfortable taking off my pants, so I towel off my legs with them still on. Instead of using the blanket, I wrap myself in the towel.
あ、拭き終わりました？それじゃあお茶にしましょうか。
Senpai sits down carrying a tea set in her hands.
遠野くんも座ってください。立ったままでいられると落ち着かないじゃないですか。
I do as I'm told and sit down. Senpai fills a plain mug with tea and hands it to me. Neither of us say a word. Senpai is drinking her tea, acting as if nothing is out of the ordinary. With nothing else to do, that mug is adorable. With nothing else to do, I also take a sip. I'm surprised. It's really hot. It's so hot that it scalds the tip of my tongue, and I feel my pulse start pounding through my body. It was even enough to kickstart my heart, mind, and other frozen faculties. That's how hot it was. Senpai doesn't ask me anything. Before long, my mug is empty. Senpai refills my mug with tea as naturally as if this were all a daily occurrence. Something. I feel like I have to say something. Anything.
遠野くん。
I reflexively jerk backwards.
私、ちょっと出てきます。お留守番頼めますか？
うん、いいですけど。
はい。それじゃあお願いします。すぐに帰ってきますから、あんまり変なことしちゃダメですよ。
Senpai leaves with a smile on her face while I'm still trying to work out how serious she is. I'm alone again. Whatever it was that had warmed me up until a moment ago quickly dissipates. Senpai didn't ask any questions. She brought a person like me back to her room, and took care of me as if it were only natural to do so. I hadn't even noticed. What healed my frozen heart wasn't the warmth of the tea, or the neatness of the room, but the fact that someone was there by my side when I needed them. How selfish of me. My chest hurts. Until a few minutes ago I had been on my own, being alone, feeling nothing, and abandoning my thoughts had been my only escape. But now, Senpai's absence alone is enough to make me anxious. It makes me want to scream like a child, to beg for forgiveness. I desperately try to hold back the sobs and tears that threatened to leak out at any moment. I mean, it's awful. It's just too much for a human to bear. Even though I wished I was dead. Even though I don't deserve to be treated kindly by Senpai. Even though I'm a murderer. I'm now sitting here, selfishly thinking about how badly I want her to hurry back.
ただいま、遠野くん。お留守番ご苦労様。
Senpai is carrying several plastic bags. She seems to have brought a bunch of stuff.
ですね。とりあえず、これに着替えてください。安物ですけど、濡れた服よりずっといいです。お風呂もそろそろ沸きますから、お湯に浸かってゆっくりすれば、少しは気持ちも紛れますよ。
Senpai quickly sets to work getting everything in order. Drawing a bath, preparing my change of clothes, and so on. She really doesn't need to do all this for my sake.
いいよ、先輩。俺、帰るから。これ以上迷惑はかけられない。
I button my shirt, grab my jacket, and start walking. I don't know where I'm going, but I can't stay in this room.
ダメですってば。そんな真っ青な顔で出歩くなんて、せめてきちんと温まってから。
Senpai's hand reaches out. She goes to grab my shoulder as I pass her by. When I try to shake her off, through no fault of anyone, the world is turned on its head. Take off the glasses? Ah. And contorting, twisting, shifting, spinning out. The world is severed. Death is but a second away. A world where everything dies so easily. The world as seen through the eyes of a murderer who killed someone for no reason. And within it...
ああ、メガネメガネ。ごめんなさい。私の不注意でした。壊れてたら弁償しますから。
The well-intentioned girl who rushed to pick up my glasses took on the face of a corpse. Oh god. I stifle the screams spilling from my mouth. I frantically hold back my hand from springing up to crush my eyeballs. No, this is reality. It only resembles that time. It isn't happening. There's no way it's still happening. Ah, but the blood, the red lines, they're all over the place. Just as they were all over the woman in white. Everything is just as it was back then. Even this person who cared for me is crisscrossed with red lines of death.
遠野くん?
Oh Jesus, this is looking grim. That's why it's going to happen again. I'm certain it'll happen again. Whether it's rational or irrational makes no difference. Whether I'm sane or insane makes no difference. I simply want to lose myself to it. That's just the kind of creature I am. A blank creature. I turned that place into hell just by being there. That's why, somewhere in my heart, I know that it's in my nature to wantonly destroy everything around me. Jesus. No, that's not true. Yeah, chill out, bro. Chill out. You starting to pick up the pieces? I can hear Senpai's voice, but I can still see the warmth in her eyes. Even if all I see is hell, reality continues to exist regardless. I believe deep down that it must continue to exist, so that this person can continue to worry about me, so that I can continue to feel her worry. The world keeps on turning, unchanged regardless of me. I calm my racing heart, which has felt as though it were about to burst. Picking my glasses up from where they fell on the floor, I slowly put them back on. Breathe. Breathe. Breathe, bro, breathe. I let slip a sob as I fight to get my emotions under control. I fall to the floor with a thud and exhale heavily. Ah. I've let Senpai see me at my worst again. But at least now my thoughts and vision are back to normal.
よかった。落ち着きましたか、遠野くん?
Here you are, just pretending that nothing happened. The hell? Glancing up, I see Senpai standing there, looking just as she always has.
ほら、やっぱり満足に歩けないじゃないですか。体が冷え切っていること、分かってくれました?
Senpai gives me a playful smile, as though gently chiding me to reflect on my actions, and holds out her hand to me. Even after witnessing my breakdown, she's acting like nothing happened.
ごめん。でも、今のは体の問題じゃなくて。
いえ、体の問題です。一人で立ち上がれないのをちゃんと理解してください。ほら、力が全然入っていないじゃないですか。今の遠野くんなら、私一人でもひょいっと運べちゃいそうです。
Having said that, Senpai pulls my hand. Senpai drags me back to the middle of the room. I didn't think she'd actually carry me.
遠野くん、今日はお家に帰れないんでしょ? もう今夜の用意をしてきちゃったんですから。いい加減覚悟を決めてください。
覚悟って、先輩。
ちゃんと体を温めて、夕ご飯を食べて、しっかりするまで帰らないでください。そんな顔をしたまま出て行かれたら、気になって眠れないじゃないですか。
This is a different kind of heartache. My heart feels like it's about to break under the weight of Senpai's concern, so I look away, exhaling deeply. I'm happy. I'm so happy that I'm on the verge of tears, but at the same time, I'm afraid of this person's kindness.
なんで
はい、何ですか遠野くん。
なんでそこまでするんですか先輩。俺には。
Even though I killed someone.
俺はダメなんです。さっきすごい間違いをしてしまって、責任も取らずに逃げてきて、死んでもいいとさえ思ったのに。
Even now, I'm trying to cling to Senpai for support. As though the sin itself, as though the life I took with my own hands, had never existed to begin with.
俺の間違いはどんなことをしても許されない。いや、許されちゃいけないことだと思う。だからダメなんです。こんな風に先輩に優しくしてもらう資格なんて俺にはないんです。
はあ、遠野くん、自分が悪い人だって思い込みたいんですね。あなたはずっとそうやって裁かれる時を待っていたみたいです。けど、そう思うということは、遠野くん自身が自分の行動にまだ確信が持てないということでしょ。あなたはいつも自分が悪いと思っている。今日はその最たるものだった。でもそれが本当にいいことだったのか悪いことだったのか、どう考えてもわからない。だからそんな風に一方的に自分を追い詰めてはっきりさせるしかないんですよね。
いや、
Therapist Ciel.
それは。
I can't bring myself to deny it. I can recognize what I've done, but I can't shake off the doubts that plague me. Why did I do such a thing, and to what end? I still haven't even been able to figure out if there really is something wrong with me. No, I know full well that I'll never be able to understand the feelings that took hold of me back then.
ですが、私は遠野くんの犯した間違いというものが何であるかはわかりません。ぶっちゃけて言えばそんなことどうでもいいです。遠野くんは優しくされる資格がないって言いますけど、それは遠野くんだけの都合です。私が遠野くんに優しくするのは遠野くんのためじゃないんですから、そんなに気にしないでください。
俺のためじゃない。
はい、そのですね、私が遠野くんに優しくしてあげたいからこうしているんです。要するに私の趣味です。遠野くんの事情はあまり関係ありません。仮にあなたが悪人でも私は手を差し伸べます。まあそんなことは100歩譲ってもないでしょうけど。
趣味って先輩、人助けが趣味なんですか？
I'm so stunned by her declaration that I can't help teasing her a little. Senpai doesn't seem to be offended. On the contrary, she puffs up with pride, as though I'd hit the nail right on the head.
今回は人助けではなく、一人になりたがっている男の子を無理やり引きとどめて楽しんでいる悪人ですが、遠野くんにとっては迷惑でしょうけど、たちの悪い先輩に捕まったと思って観念してください。
Senpai smiled as she said that. It was a soft, considerate smile. At that, my heart breaks completely. She said that she would help Tonoshiki, a person even I couldn't trust. She said that even if I were a bad person, she'd still help me simply because she wanted to. No matter how unforgivable my sin, I'm saved by her words.
そっか。ありがとう、先輩。
I let out a deep sigh of gratitude, not because she believes in Todoshiki, but because someone like Senpai is here for me.
いえいえ、礼には及びません。だって私、遠野くんの先輩ですから。
At her proud smile, I earnestly bow my head. I'm not sure when, but at some point I went from hating the sound of my own heartbeat to feeling its warmth. I really am indebted to her. As long as I'm with her, I'm unable to continue thinking of myself as evil. Well, there you go. Shout out to therapist Ciel. I listen to the soft patter of the rain. In the end, I wasn't able to turn down Senpai's kindness. She let me use her bath and went out on her way to prepare some pajamas for me. She even handled dinner. It was only a convenience store meal, but it was still delicious. Since it was still raining outside, she also lent me her bed for the night, and so now I'm lying in it trying to fall asleep. Senpai is currently asleep on a futon on the floor next to the bed. I was adamantly opposed to using her bed, but...
ここ安作りですから床は冷えるんです。風邪をひき始めている人にはおすすめできません。どうぞ私のベッドを使ってください。ちょっとはマシです。
いやベッドって先輩の？
そうですよ。あ、気にしないでください。あまり使ってませんから新品同様です。いいですよね、日本のベッド。ふかふかで幸せです。
Can't deny that, can you? After saying that with a smile on her face, she firmly put me to bed. I stare vacantly at the ceiling. This building doesn't hold a candle to the Tono mansion, but it still feels oddly spacious somehow. I'm sure my senses are just as little numb. Senpai's compassion is so overwhelming that it makes me feel small. All through dinner, Senpai was cheerfully talking to me as though today were just like any other day. She talked about school, various restaurants that I didn't know about, and never let the conversation die. I was completely unable to hold up my end of the conversation, but all the while I could still feel my mind gradually creep a little closer to normality. It felt unforgivable, but at the same time, I was glad of it. I honestly can't believe it. It's only been a few hours since I killed someone, and now here I am getting flustered over the sort of things an ordinary high school student would worry about. I never thought I'd be able to pass the time like this again. Unable to sleep, my gaze wanders. I'm at a loss as to where I should go from here, what I should do. Rain continues to fall outside. The sound of it fills the apartment.
Tono君、早く眠らないと明日遅刻してしまいますよ。
先輩起きてるんですか？
はい、遠野くんは眠るまで眠れません。私一応女の子なんですから。
ごめん、やっぱり台所で眠るよ俺。
もう何度も言わせないでください。遠野くんは風邪のひき始めなんですから台所には寝かせられません。いいから嫌なことは忘れて眠っちゃってください。
嫌なこと？
Ah, that's impossible. It's something I'm unable to forget. It's something that I mustn't forget. Whatever reason I may have had, I've killed someone. It would be far too grave a sin to then forget the very thing I stole from them.
ダメだ。罪はごまかせないよ先輩。忘れることはできないし忘れるつもりもないんだけど ありがとう。今日は先輩に助けられた。あのままでいたら本当に俺は死んでいたかもしれない。
That would have been the most despicable escape. Now that I've calmed down, even I understand that. Taking your own life doesn't serve to atone for your actions. If you really think you've done something wrong, I believe that running away from your responsibilities is the last thing you should do.
罪ですか。どうも遠野くんの間違いというのは私では想像もつかないことみたいですね。
I
けど
wonder
遠
if you
野
have
く
to
ん、
open up to her at some point.
罪を犯さない人なんてこの社会にはいないんじゃないでしょうか。人間は誰もが罪人なわけですし。
I assume that you would have to at some point.
先輩、それはどういう。
いえ、誰もがというのは言い過ぎでしたね。でもいい人間と悪い人間がいるんじゃないんです。ただどうしようもなく何かの弾みで道を踏み外す人がいるだけで。生きている以上誰だって過ちは犯してしまう。だって人間はそういう風に生きる動物です。知恵がある以上誰かの幸福を踏みにじらずにはいられない。
The voice echoing in the darkness sounds ever so slightly bitter. I'm surprised. I never would have imagined Senpai saying something to the effect that humanity is fundamentally evil.
なんだよ先輩、それじゃあさ、なんか救われないよ。みんなが過ちを犯してるなんて、そんな例え話好きじゃない。
そうですね。それじゃあ救われませんね。けど罪というものは償えるじゃないですか。世の中には善人も悪人もいません。ただ罪を償える人と償えない人がいるだけなんです。ですから救われない人というのはどうあっても自身の罪を償えない人のことだと思います。
どうあっても償えない。
はい。でも遠野くんは償える人です。何をしてしまったかは知りませんけど、遠野くんは償える人
What's he
です
going
よ。
to do? Apologize to the corpse he just killed? Like, gonna go back to the apartment and be like, I'm sorry I killed you 17 individual pieces.
不安で眠れないのなら、この先どう償って生きていくかを考えればいいんです。それはすごく難しいことです
Or
か
I don't
ら、
know, maybe that corpse just
その
comes
う
back
ち
to
頭
life
がパン
later.
クしてスルッと眠れちゃいま
So
す。
then you can apologize.
けど先輩、俺の間違いはどうやったって償いきれない。
そうですよ。どんなものであれ罪というものは完全には償えません。誰かを傷つけてその人の傷を治したとしても、傷つけたという罪は消えないでしょ。どんなに頑張っても犯してしまった過ちは消えてくれないんです。償いとは結果ではなく、その過程で生まれる心の在り方だと私は教えられました。他人に強制されずとも自らを罰することができる心。償える人と償えない人というのはそういうことです。だから遠野くんは間違いなく償えちゃう人ですね。
I wonder if that's really true. I may not be able to believe in myself, but if this person says I can, I want to live my life as if it were so.
わかんないな。俺ひどい人間だよ。先輩が思ってるほどいいやつじゃない。
そんなの簡単にわかりますよ。さっきですね、私ちょっと感動しました。 遠野くん、胸にすごい傷があるでしょ？
あるけど、それがどうして？
あれだけの傷跡ということは、とても大きな事故だったんでしょう。爪痕というものは心を歪ませます。あんなに大きな、しかもまだ消えない傷だなんて、ちょっと普通じゃないですよね。けれど遠野くんはとても自然です。あの傷を受け止めて生きてきたのなら、それは間違いなく誇れることです。遠野くんはとてもまっすぐな幼年期を過ごしたんでしょうね。あなたはきっと怒ることはあっても人を決して恨まない。
After she finishes murmuring contentedly to herself, Senpai falls silent. If I listen closely, I can hear her breathing softly in her sleep.
寝ちゃったのか、先輩。
No reply. The only noise filtering in from outside is the steady sound of the rain.
償いか。
A punishment befitting the crime committed. Tomorrow, that woman's corpse will be discovered and probably be reported on as a new grotesque murder. When that happens, I'll have countless things to lose. I might end up causing a lot of trouble for Akiha, or I might never be able to talk with Senpai like this again. But if that's what it takes to make amends, then I'll have to accept it. My life will end there, and the reckoning will begin. If that can cease the feelings of the people who knew her, even if only slightly, then maybe there really is a way for me to atone. I'm getting a little sleepy. I don't know what tomorrow holds. I don't know, but if I can hope for one thing, I hope that at least I have enough time to thank all the people that have helped me over the years. Damn. Scary thoughts going on.